meditation, talk about some inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. It's taken me a while to find myself, to find a place inside of who I am where I care for me first. A lot of things have happened. Started getting in alignment with your inner being, with your inner blessing that you are inside of who you are. A lot of days we think that what we need comes from the outside, and then we forget about that companion that we have inside of who we are. And those are the days that we need to ask that question: is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? Here I am talking to you guys again today about self-mentality, self-ability, the ability to get inside of who you truly are, to find yourself, to start to pick yourself up, to start to utilize the part of your being where only you can. You see, the things that come in your direction, they're meant to come in your direction. When you have signs, when you tell yourself first you want to do this, you might fight it in the beginning. You might fight it in the process, but if you truly focus into those things, you start to find the reason why you wanted to stop doing those things, the reason why you wanted to start utilizing the part of yourself. And there's a lot of us out there, we end up allowing the things that go on around us to be greater than what's going on inside, and then the things around us become us. And in a lot of ways, we feel like we spiral out of control by doing that. Yeah, so we feel like we just want to let go. I'm here to tell you that's not the purpose. That's not the place you want to go. That's not the part of your being that you want to fulfill. You want to start going after things that are going to bring you closer to you, that are going to allow you to research the reason why you stopped doing certain things in the first place, you know? And when you start to believe that you're worth it, and you start to believe that it's worth, going through the challenges, it's worth putting yourself in a place where, even if it's by yourself, right? See, a lot of people, they're not willing to take that stance to be who they are on the inside. They're not willing to say, hey, look, let me look within. Let me look at what it takes for me to be who I am on the inside, I know that a lot of you out there might be facing off against some things today that you don't think that you could overcome. I would recommend to look at the reason why those things happened, how they happened, what they brought you to, how are they bringing you through, what strengths you have, how you can utilize your strengths to overcome and compensate for those things that you're not the best in. You see, when we rely on others, when we go outside of who we are truly on the inside, we lose the ability to be who we truly are. So you can never be the best copycat, you can only be the best self. And when you focus on your dreams, when you focus on your goals, the universe is going to start to see that. The universe is going to start to bring those things in your direction that are going to allow you to blossom, to grow, to light up in this world in ways that only you can. That's what separates me from other people, is the mentality, the ability to eat dirt until you're willing to get back up, the ability to sit down and to ask yourself this question: is what I'm doing today, is it motivation, is it meditation, is it inspiration? And sometimes when you find yourself enough days where you're not achieving that, something has to evolve, something has to become a part of your process. You have to believe that there is a way. You see, a lot of people are looking for something better. What about the things that are in front of you? What about the things that go on within your being? See, our energy is important. The energy that you have inside of yourself, that you utilize on a daily basis, the patterns that you use, the challenges that you go through, they're important because without those challenges, you wouldn't be able to overcome the things that you're going through. And when you overcome challenge, when you overcome things that would hold you back, when you start to believe and find the reason why what's going on inside of you is worth it, why what you're facing off against happened, you start to understand a part of yourself that nobody else can. You start to understand a part of yourself that opens up the reason why things are brought in your direction. You know, in what happens within is more important than what's going on the outside. And see, a lot of people, they see what's going out on the outside and they forget what happens within. And so they try to drown out that part. They'll use things like music or expression from exterior to try to fill an interior void. But the void within ourselves is is the place where we find ourselves. The true person within radiates light outwards, not the other way around. Not the outwards radiates light inwards. And so when we start to truly become internal beings, when we start to truly find what it takes inside of ourselves, when we start to understand why the lessons and the things that we've learned that we call emotions exist, you know, when we start to understand those parts of ourself, when we start to not allow ourselves to tolerate the things that would not bring us towards a positive mentality, then we find a place inside of ourselves where we're willing to focus. We find a place inside of ourselves where we're willing to learn, where we're willing to teach. See, a lot of people, they look outwards for what already exists within. What we have within ourselves is much greater than the challenges that we face off against. And we forget that sometimes, yeah? We let the substances or the addictions that we have uh, control our lives. But when you start to truly find your core, when you start to truly find who you are on the inside, those things that aren't meant for you, that they start moving out of your direction, they start allowing you to invite the things that will inspire you, will uplift you, will find a way within yourself when other people don't know if there is a way. You see what I'm saying? See, motivation, a lot of people don't understand. It's the process of focusing. We forget that when we're focusing, that what we're truly doing is finding a part of ourselves, yeah? Whether that be learning, whether that be teaching, whether that be experiencing. What is it that you're focused into? Is that thing a positive thing? Is that bringing you closer to the person that you truly are on the inside? I once told a friend I could see them and I could see them on the inside because I could see who they are truly beyond all the onion peelings, beyond all of that, at the center of their being, you know, and when we seek out that part inside of ourselves and we go for that part, then the things that will start to happen will start to show you what's meant to be around you and with you. See, friends are a reminder of our life's journey. They're a reminder of our life's path. See, we forget sometimes about our best friend, ourselves. Yeah, we forget about the one that we have inside of who we are. See, it's a joy to spend time by yourself, and it's also a joy to work with others. Both of those have a place, they have a purpose. When you start to see your dreams and your goals start to spiral out of control, that is a moment where you back off and look back at it and go, what is it that I am truly? Yeah. What is it that this will bring me? What is it that this will bring closer to me being myself? And if you find that those things are not bringing you closer to who you truly are within yourself, within your being, if you find yourself doing those things but you want others to not, then you have to seek out a way to overcome, to start to go within, to allow those things to fall off from you. And in the process of that, you will eat dirt. You will have the ground. You will find a way to get back up. You will find a way to light up in this world. But in that process is massive growth. In that process is massive understanding. In that process, you find that friend within yourself, within your being. You start to ask yourself the questions: who am I? What am I? Where am I? And when you start to ask those types of questions with nothingness around, what happens is it starts to come from within. A lot of motivational speakers talk about hitting rock bottom, hitting the point where you got to get back up. And it absolutely happens inside of yourself. It absolutely happens when you look at yourself and you say, hey, I'm beautiful. I believe in who I am. Everything that's going on around me no longer has the ability to affect what I have within myself. And I am so grateful for the challenges, for those people that have come along in this life's journey, have come along in this life's path, has brought me to understand myself, to find a way to get up for who you are within who you are. See what I'm saying? Finding the center of your being, finding the strength within yourself, within your breath, within your mentality. See, that's what separates me. When everything breaks around me, I go inwards. When you go inwards, what radiates outwards is the reflection. See, that's a complete difference. What lights up from within becomes who you are. What lights up within becomes a part of your being. That is an amazing thing. I'm so grateful that I learned to meditate. I'm so grateful that I found a way to study myself, to study the being within, to be less than, to have the ability to be less, to not need all the material things, to not need all the people, all the places that others would seek, but to seek it out within yourself and to enjoy the simplicities that we have. is an amazing process to do things for yourself, to do things for the person within who you are, and to manifest. I am so excited for this life's journey. See, I look at the pages of this book as the people who join my life, they benefit. Because when you find your best friend inside of who you are, you find self-care. You find self-realization, self-understanding, self-purpose. And the life's journey that we have is for those people to stand you up so you have joy to do things within you, to allow them to bring joy into your world. Well, your best friend is experiencing it within yourself. See, that's what other people think. They think when challenges come that it's an external experience. The true experience happens within yourself. It's when you look at yourself and say, I am my best friend. I am the person who set aside that space for me. And that's not being taken from anybody else. You don't have to benefit from other people. In fact, they benefit from having you in their lives. So when you're seeking out things in external places, when you're out there looking for things that already exist within yourself, recognize that the light within who you are only shines brighter when you look within you. And when energy comes to be, when it comes to being, when you start to understand your Shakti or Shivanic energies, understand that the universe has life path purpose for your energy. And a lot of times people get thrown off that life track path. Or for a period of time, they find themselves in a place where they don't know who they are, or they don't know what they have truly, till you look inside of yourself in a place of nothingness, in a place of self-reflection. And in that place of self-reflection, that's where meditation comes in. When there's nothing around you and everything within you builds. When there's a place within yourself to grow. When you realize that your light shines bright and that you need nothing but yourself. When you're at that point where you care for yourself, where your breath chooses to live, where your light starts to shine, that's when you start to get back up. That's when you start doing stuff for yourself, for your internal being, for your manifestation, and for your ability to be a light that shines outwards. Too many people feel like the external is what matters. They miss the mountains. They miss the lakes. They miss the breeze. They seek out darkness instead of light. When we learn that light, it shines. When we learn that light brings us to a place of growth, it brings us to a place of being. It brings us to a place of manifestation. when we are willing to uplift others out of that darkness, where even if their life track path was to pass through your journey, when you acknowledge that part of your own journey, when you acknowledge that part of your own life's path, the things that are meant for you start to find their way towards you. And you see, you have not to worry. The things that are meant for you move in your direction. They will travel to be with you. They will travel to be around you. They will travel to understand you, to manifest, to be next to you. And it's quite amazing to see this life's path. It's amazing to see this life's journey, because when you allow the universe to do the work, when you allow positive and negative forces to work in your direction, when you allow what you have within you to be all that you are, all that you manifest, that you don't need external substances, that you don't need external vibrations, but what vibrates within you, you start to hear those things. I once took a friend to a lake, and I was doing meditation at the lake, and they could hear the water, they could hear the wind, they couldn't hear the birds singing, they couldn't hear the Most High's creation, they couldn't hear the parts of themselves, because sometimes we forget, because sometimes we numb ourselves out, yeah? We like to snuff the light out within ourselves because we think then we might win. There's no winning in that. There's no winning in thinking small of yourself, thinking less of who you are on the inside. There's no light that shines brighter than the one who cares for themselves first, without selfishness, who's willing to help other people because they know that the universe does the bidding, that the universe finds the way, that it will equalize itself, that you will find yourself in a place where you've given everything that you are, that the light shines so bright that it's undeniable. When you believe in yourself at that point, then others become inspired. When you become so disciplined that material things no longer hold a value, they no longer hold you back, that the light inside of you shines so bright that your being finds a way to light up the night. See, darkness moves out of the way of light. When you believe at that level in yourself, when you allow that part of your journey to be worth it, you start to see the blessings that you have within. What it takes to understand that you are an inspiration. What does it take to understand your journey? What does it take to understand your path? Sometimes in the process of understanding this journey is allowing it to be a journey, allowing the journey to be the joy, the process of going through those things. And within that place, we find our space. Within that place, we find our mountaintops, our lights within who we are. And we find that place of self-understanding, of self-growth, of self-being. It's amazing to go through challenge and come out on the other side. It's amazing to understand what we have within ourselves, within our being, because when we do, we become within. When we do, we become what we want to achieve. When we do, we become what we have inside. And see, once we've recognized that there are negative things, once we recognize that things are negative in our lives, once we recognize that we can find a way, that we are the substance, that we are the sons and daughters of the Most High, when we find that level of connection within ourselves, when we find that level of simplicity, then we hear the birds sing. Then we hear the challenges that we have. There's many different places that we can be utilizing this part of our mentality. And when we forget that our process is to focus within, when we feel like others are supposed to fill that place, we lose a little bit of ourselves. When we seek out that part within who we are, when we truly start to look within ourselves, when we truly start to find who we are within, when we truly start to find our path, our journey, when that becomes a part of what we're seeking out after, we find the light within ourselves. You know, I know motivation, meditation, inspiration is what's kept me alive through the challenges that I faced off against. The ability to see oneself in a place where nobody else can go. To see oneself in a place where I have what it takes. Ask myself this question, you know, is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? You know? And spending the time in that place, uplifting other people, believing in yourself, believing in your purpose, is what I want. You know, sat down with a friend, did meditation, and realized how much I enjoyed working with others, how much I enjoyed this place within. You see, a lot of people, they will say, you changed. What about the part of finding yourself? What possibly could you do within you that others might not understand? that your energy might have a purpose. It might just be that what they see is the real you. The real you that is within yourself. The real you that others don't know. The real you that lights up in this world. Who lights up the day and the night. Far too long I put it off. Far too long I gave more to others than myself. Until the point where I had nothing. Till the point where I had to decide to get back up. To start to utilize the benefit of being yourself. See, it's not when everybody is in favor of you that you find yourself. It's not when everything is going easy. It's when everything is falling apart and you're looking within. It's when everything is falling apart around you and you no longer need those things. It's when that energy within yourself lights up. It's within that place within who you are that you find yourself. It's so interesting how when we find ourselves, they call us beautiful. So interesting when we find ourselves, they say, what happened? What changed inside of you? Absolutely. 100% positively. They didn't know you for you. Because if they knew the person inside of you, they would see that light that shines. They would see that part of your being where you are, where your path is, where your journey is an inspiration. That's the reason why it's said those things that are meant for you will be coming in your direction. See, when you see that, when you understand your life's path, when you understand your life's journey, you don't have to worry. See, worry is a way of moving motivation out of the way. It's a way of allowing fear to be greater than focus. When you focus to the point where fear has the way to move out of the way, when fears no longer can stop you, they can no longer hold you back, they can no longer hold you down, you start to see that what's truly happening is you're focusing on your life's path journey. And each of us have our life path. And each of us have our life's journey, and we each have a place to look within ourselves. I know that it's difficult to allow our journey to have that process. I know that it's difficult to allow positivity to take shape within ourselves, to take shape within our being. A lot of times we find ourselves asking that question, am I becoming that today? The universe will bring those signs through. The Most High God already created it. He already created a universe in which if you seek after the light, you will shine. Already created a universe where there is night and day, where there is rest and there is peace within. It's already there. It's in a place of recognizing the positive things in your life, the things that you want, the things that you can achieve. And the amazing part is when you start doing that, the universe starts putting the things that utilize your gifts in your direction. It doesn't just happen right away. It doesn't just happen the moment you ask the question. It doesn't just happen when you want it to. It happens when the universe has the ability to have you ask the questions, to write the notes, to do the study homework, to do the things that nobody else could do, the thing that puts you right where you are today. Have you asked those questions? Have you seeked out after that Most High God? See, a lot of people forget the Creator is called the Most High because the universe was created in such a way that there would be a high within this universe, that there would be a place where even the most can hear what I'm saying. When we start to manifest past those things, when we start to think about positivity, when we start to accept universal understanding, universal law, universal ability within ourselves, within our beings, when we start to light up this world in that way, what could happen with your being? What type of things can you inspire in your direction? What type of light can you put out into the universe? I know I have. I've worked with people, I've inspired people, I've helped out other people. I've learned that what I have within is the ability. I've learned what I have within is the mentality. I've learned that it can and is worth caring for yourself and caring for your purpose and your life path. That energy within exists, that there's many different colors of energy, there's many different combinations, that what we have going on within ourselves, within our light, is amazing, that we can walk through walls in our minds, that we can find ways to ask ourselves why we decided to no longer do these types of things, that our lessons are learned, that our paths, purpose, our journey. I'm so grateful for all the challenges that I've had, that I accept. A friend of mine who passed this life explained one lesson to me. It took me a very long time to understand that this path is a place of accepting our own path, our own journey. And when we do understand that, when we do understand our own journey, when we do accept our part in this journey, in this life, this thing that we call breath, that we call being, when we accept this part of our energy, when we accept this part of our being, the amazing things that light up in this world, the amazing things I'm so much joy comes from within, from understanding this, that it already exists within, that your path is amazing, that you are unique, that you are undeniably your being, you know? When the things that are meant for you move in your direction, you don't have to fight. You don't have to, you just can't understand because it is universal knowledge. It is a universal connection that is discipline in itself. In its purest form, it is discipline to listen to this universe, to listen to what has happened, to listen to the ability within ourselves. And I'm so much in a place of peace within my being, in a place where we go within, where we find ourselves. And that's why I talk about motivation. That's why I talk about meditation. That's why I talk about inspiration. When we find the center of who we are, when we find that place where we start to light up, where we start to see ourselves, when we are set indifferent, when we are set on the side within who we are, where the things that we achieve, that we light up, that we become is liberation. When external forces no longer have the ability to change the light within, that is the power of motivation, meditation, and inspiration. I ask this question every day. Is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? Because if it's not one of the three, I don't want it. From Prescott to San Diego to Madrid, Spain to Paris to Portugal to Puerto Rico to Canada to Brazil to all the continents around the world, ask yourself, are you truly utilizing your energy within your being? Are you bringing positivity from within yourself? Are you letting the things of the external forces be greater than who you are on the inside? Or who are you on the inside is allowing the external things to just be blessings in your life? See, that's the question. That's the question that becomes the life. That's the question that becomes this life's journey, is to be on your journey. And in that journey with you. What a wonderful opportunity we have to live life, to be grateful for the life that we have. So many people throw their lives away. They try to drink themselves to death. They try to drown out with things that aren't from within. when within is where the real joy is. Within is where the real best friend lays. When you start to care for yourself first, you start to believe in your being. When you start to care for yourself first, you're willing to sleep on the floor until you get up for you. When you wake up for you, when you start to not be doing things for other people, but for doing them within yourself, within your experience, within your life journey, when it's you who lights up, when you find yourself in that path, when you find yourself in that place where what you have within is greater than the challenges that are going on around you, then your best friend inside lights up. What an amazing journey it is for one to enjoy their own path. What an amazing journey for one to enjoy their own purpose within the universe, within their connection, within their light's energy. See, when you are so committed to your path, your journey finds its way for those things to be brought to you that are meant for your journey. We forget about our journey, we forget about our path, and we let all the other things become that. Then one day we wake up asking ourselves, did we serve in our life's journey? Did we serve in our life's path? Did we find a way to be who we are within? Did we find a way to believe in ourselves? And when we start to do that, when we start to believe in ourselves, we find the light within. When we start to be nothing less, nothing more, not selfish, but selfless. This is who I am. With all those things stripped away from me, I am a light in this universe. With all those things stripped away from me, I am power beyond. When you believe at that level where your breath at your best friend within yourself, then we're speaking meditation. What it takes to find that place within yourself is going through those emotions and learning the lessons, going through those paths and finding that place, going through that life's journey and finding that ability to manifest within yourself. Beyond the challenge lays the path. Within the path lays the light. Within yourself, you are a beacon of positive and negative, which goes beyond. When we become so disciplined that our life is a positive force within the universe has the ability to yield its wealth, has the ability to yield its purpose, has the ability to yield its focus. You are that focus. You are that path. You are that journey. You are that knowledge, that positive and negative forces, universal understanding already lives within who you are. See the light that shines? See, when other people look at you and you're shaking, they look at you and you're down, and they kick you when you're down. Gain the knowledge to understand they're actually strengthening you. They're actually bringing you closer to yourself. They're bringing you closer to your ability for self-growth, so for self-understanding. That when they surround you or they force you, that what they're doing is they're bringing you to a place where eventually you find liberation within you. When you liberate yourself from the fears, the pains become teachers. The emotions fall off. And in that place, the yogi is born within oneself. The yogi is born not by experience, but by understanding, not by force, but by path. When that path becomes you, you find the strength within. When that path becomes you, you find a way to overcome. When you find the path within you is greater than the challenges around you, the vibration within who you are lights up and you become an inspiration. Remember to uplift other people in that part of your path, whether that be universal wealth in all different forms. When you are willing to share the yields of the universe puts you in a place of the law of riches. When you live by the law of riches, the universe utilizes you as a blessing. And when you are a blessing, others benefit by just you being around. This is some true inspiration. Might not talk this kind of stuff within different places, but from within oneself, within one's light, is your best friend. Within one's light is the ability to understand, to become. And this is utilizable in all parts of your being, in all parts of your day. By you becoming yourself, by you allowing yourself to only be in places where you are. Not because of a substance or a person, but because of who you are within. When you start to see to that level of your being, you find your life's journey. And that is why your life's journey is to allow those things that are meant for you to come in your direction, and those things that are meant to go on their life's path, to allow them to go on their life's path. I used to carry a lot of pain. I used to carry a lot of misunderstanding until one day my friend passed this life and explained to me, at a certain point we have to accept that we put ourselves in those places. We have to accept this life's path. And I understand that this life's path is going to have many bumps in the road. It's going to have many passages. It's going to have many rivers and lakes and ferries that are going to carry us across rivers. It is up for us to enjoy that journey. It is up for us to enjoy that path. It is up for us to gain the understanding, to find the joy within ourselves. See, when you are in care of one's being, when your energy is entrusted within this body, you become the teacher in your life. And you become the light within your being. You are the field trip. Where is your experiences? What is it that you find within your being that lights you up? What is it that you find within your being that lights your day, that brings you through the night, that brings the joy to you, brings the joy within you? What does it take for you to believe in yourself? Manifesting is light. You can grow in your true inner energy from spending time on yourself. You can enjoy the journey with people joining your path. But you always will be that path. You will always be that purpose. And you will always have a place within yourself. So why don't you be with your breath to the end? Be with your friend within yourself. Let those things come in your direction that are meant for you. Let them move through your path. Peace is a within purpose. Within yourself, you find motivation, meditation, and inspiration. When it doesn't come from others, but it comes from your ability to be a blessing within this universe, to light up within your being, within your journey. It's been too long since I shared this part. It's been too long since I allowed myself this expression of self-care. It's been too long since I allowed this being to be the light within, the manifestation, the being, willing to give up everything to find oneself, to care for others more than one's being, to the point where you find yourself is what this life's path is worth. It's what this life's path is journey. You are the universal wealth. All those things, all those substances that we seek, the perfect position, the perfect job, the perfect car, the perfect is already within you. It is already within your being to become an inspiration, to become a light, to find your connection with the Most High, and to believe in yourself and your being that you're worth it. So those joys that come in your way, realize they're joining your path. They're joining your journey. And welcome them in your life. Blessings as always, namaste.